Love in America is brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source.
August birthstone is peridot. Its naturally colored olive to lime green is also the 16th anniversary stone.
Ancient Egyptians called it the Gem of Suns and was worn by Cleopatra. To learn more about colored gemstones, follow us on social media.
Only at the Gold and Diamond Source.
Everyone has a story to tell. It's my mission to tell it. Unscripted, unedited. We are on the record.
Hello everyone, I'm Serena Fazan and welcome to Love in America. I am here with such a lovely couple, Bernadette and Chris. You guys are high school sweethearts.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Married for how many years?
33.
All right, married for 33, but how long have you known each other?
Since she was a freshman in high school, I was a sophomore. She was 14 years old.
She was 14 years old, and Chris, share the story. That was so funny when you said.
Yes. She had me at hello.
Oh my God.
At 14 years old, right?
14 years old. So you guys, okay, and you're from New York
Yes,
originally?
upstate New York.
Okay, so when your husband says you had him at hello, did you feel the same way? I mean, what were you thinking when you first met?
Oh, I just thought he was cute. Yeah, for sure.
There's no arguing with her there.
So, okay, do you guys think, okay, at that age, like right now, I have a 15-year-old, so I'm trying to even understand dating at that age or what they're doing at the age. So at that age, at that time, you guys started, what was dating?
It was clueless. It really
Well,
was.
our first date was in 1980, Valentine's Day. It was a dance. It was a high school dance. And he bought my ticket. It was probably $4. I don't remember how much it was. And neither one of us drove, so we had to get a ride. You know, each one of us had to get a ride there. That was our first date.
Yeah, so we met in the school gymnasium, and back in 1980, we were dancing to Thriller and Michael Jackson and everything else.
We date ourselves. I know some of my favorite absolute songs.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys dated all through high school, clearly.
Yeah.
All right, was there any type of breakup or anything during this time, or what happened?
There was just typical high school stuff. I think after we dated a year, maybe it got a little, oh, this is really getting serious. So, you know, you break it off, and then we got back together.
Yeah.
What about going to college then? Did you both go to college? Like, what was your journey like?
Yeah, so I was a year older, and so I was the last graduating class of Binghamton North High in 1982. And she was the first graduating class of Binghamton High School in 1983. They combined the two schools.
Oh.
So my freshman year at community college, she was a high school senior. And so I was going to college, got a part-time job at UPS, was coaching high school basketball, and then she was working part-time out of school. And so, yeah, so we've been together for over 40 years.
That's a long time.
It is a long time.
But we love it. All right, so you graduate then from high school. You said you're going to community college. Did you end up going to college? Or
Yeah,
did you,
same school.
Oh, you guys went to the
Same
school.
school, yeah.
Did you both go to the same school because you wanted to be together? Or did that play into it?
It's the only one in town. It's the only community college in town.
I think it was, you know, at that time, I had no desire to leave,
Yeah.
for sure. So
let's talk about that,
Okay.
Bernadette, though,
Okay.
and Chris. Okay. So did you guys not have a desire to leave because you wanted to be together? And was there any type of, were the parents getting involved at all?
So, you know, because we dated young, parents were definitely involved, and my mother was actually very nervous because we came from opposite sides of town.
I was on the north side.
He was on the north side. I grew up on the south side.
What is that? So what does that mean?
She's like, a north sider, you know? And I'm like,
does that mean you're more of a player, or what does that
No,
mean?
we're
exactly?
poorer.
Oh, bless your heart, forward hard working. And
Yes.
these guys are on the record, on the
On
other
the
show, on the
record.
record, and you will not believe the extraordinary measures they have taken to make life so much better for children.
well, I didn't grow up rich,
We,
though.
we do say this, where we are today is a long way from Moffett Avenue.
Yes.
Wow.
That's for certain. So I grew up in a large Irish Catholic family, and she grew up in an Italian Catholic family, and I was from the north side, she was from the south
Yes.
side.
Oh, so
And so-
cute. So then your mom says, well, he's from that side.
Right, right.
And what did you say?
It didn't stop me. I probably wasn't listening to my mom that much.
I had her at hello too.
Oh, yes, 100%. So
He would ride his bike over to my house, and at 11 o'clock, my mom would say, "It's time for Chris to go home."
Yep.
Chris would go home.
And I would ride my bike back home. And then her younger sister had an older boyfriend that was driving up the hill at 11 o'clock when he got out of work to be with his younger sister, as I had to go home.
Oh my gosh, the memories, right?
Right.
So going back to the question though about, that was so funny too when you said, well, it was the only community college in town.
Yeah.
But the two of you opted to stay together.
Yes.
And were there discussions about, you know, going to different schools or moving at all?
I had
School in my family, school wasn't really talked about. You know, we were a very poor family. You know, I was able to go to community college, and we got obviously financial aid, and so I got the 2 years there. And we just grew up in a fantastic hometown of Binghamton, New York. IBM was big back then. There was a lot of manufacturing jobs. It was a great place to raise a family. And so we really felt strongly about raising our family in Binghamton. And so I went on to get a full-time job at UPS. I was working nights, and I was coach basketball and football during the day. She went on and got a job at Kelly Services there in the offices. And we were, you know, doing our thing, doing life. And we got married. And then she got an opportunity for a job transfer to Brandon, Florida.
And that's what brought you back.
That's what brought us here.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, I don't like the Reader's Digest version.
Right.
I always
Yeah,
say
of
I like the
course.
New York Times
We can dig
version
in.
because we went from this to okay, we got married. Okay, so at what age did you guys know that this is the person for me? I'm going to marry this person.
So we got engaged. I was 22. Got married at 23. And I think we had been dating for so long, and it was our families. When are you going to get married? When are you going to get married? When are you going to get married? And then
That was a big part.
It was a big part of it. And then actually soon after we got married, because we were together so long, it was when are you going to have kids? When are you going to have kids? You know, that was the
Yes.
family dynamic.
But you know what is so funny about it too, is you were so young when you
Yes.
got married. So,
Yeah.
but again, as you said, you had been together
Yes.
for such a long.
Yes.
Yeah, you've
long
been together
period of
8
time.
years now. You think you should time
Right.
to get married? Like,
Right.
well, I'm only 24. You know, type of a thing.
So, but you guys did know, you feel like at an early age that you were each other's person.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think. Well, she said absolutely, but she's not telling the truth. She didn't think I was the one until our 10th wedding anniversary.
Well,
I'll tell you a
no.
story.
No,
we'll
I-
talk.
no, okay.
We can fill in that story
I knew
too.
you were the person. I honestly
right.
just did not think that marriage was forever, just because of some family dynamics, you know, things that were happening. I just did not believe in forever.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. So, okay, we're going fast
We'll-
forward.
yeah,
Even
we'll
prior
unpack
to
that, yeah.
Yes. Okay, we will discuss that
Okay.
in the second half of the show.
Okay.
Because let's go to the proposal.
Okay.
Right now.
Two different stories.
Two different stories. Okay, the proposal. How did the proposal go down?
Okay. We agree on most things.
Yes. So we had been together about 7-8 years, and I had bought a ring. I had the ring put away, and we went out one Friday night, and a young couple that had been dating less than us, they got engaged on that Friday night. So she was going around, this young lady, telling everybody, showing her ring, we got engaged, and everybody's congratulating them. You think she could be happy for this girl?
I was mad. I was mad.
She was mad.
But we love your honesty. Okay,
Yes.
so
I wanted my ring.
She said, we're just going to live together for the rest of our lives. And so then she starts, when are we going to get engaged? They've been dating a lot less than
Right,
us,
right.
and they're already engaged.
Right.
but unbeknownst to you,
I had
Chris
these amazing plans.
No,
Okay.
that's where
Yes,
that's
I
where,
did.
he had no plan. I'm sorry.
We
he
had
had no
planned,
plan.
we were in upstate New York. I was going to get a limousine to go through the Finger Lakes up to Niagara
Okay,
Falls.
so just so you know, the story changes a little bit every time he tells it. Yeah. So,
She'll never know, will she?
but that's your version.
My
that
version.
You,
Right.
and you feel it changes there. So that you had a limousine, you're gonna
Yep.
get, and then you're gonna pop the
I had
question.
it all planned. I had it perfect, and she was nagging.
How long after that Friday, though, had it been
2
planned
days.
for? 2 days. Oh, so you were planning to get engaged on that Sunday?
No. I had that planned for a little bit later.
Give him time to think of a story to
No,
answer
I had
that.
it planned for a little bit later, but because this couple got engaged,
Yeah.
and she's like, "When am I going to get my ring?" I can't believe. Then she'd call her sister. Well, they got engaged. I can't believe we're never even going to get married. And so that weekend, I was trying to watch a basketball game, and she started on me again.
I did not let
get
up.
married. This is ridiculous. So I says, "You want your ring?" So I went into the drawer, got out the ring, and I said, "Here, stick it in your ass."
No,
Yes,
you
I
did not.
did.
He did.
That's my,
He did.
That's my proposal.
I didn't care. I was like, yay, I got my ring. Look, I'm so happy. I called her mom. So that was
It's
the
not
start
how
of our
you start,
Right,
it's how you
right,
finish.
right.
It's how you finish.
Exactly.
I love it. Okay, but so do you believe, though, Bernadette, as we sit here, that Chris, though, did have the plan?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Yes.
How does that make you feel that she doesn't quite believe it?
It hurts a little that she doesn't trust me.
He's over it. He's past
over
it.
it.
Yeah, he's past that.
All right, so but you literally throw the ring to her and say,
Yeah, he might have tossed it a little.
and
I said, "Here."
And I just put it on. I didn't care about the rest of the story. I was good. I had my ring.
Yeah.
Let him watch his basketball game, and I made my phone calls.
Well, okay, so you love the ring.
Yes.
Okay, so you love the ring, and you were just so happy.
Right. It was
that
official. Like, it just, it's different when you go from girlfriend to fiance.
Oh, totally.
So,
I mean, there's such a huge difference,
Right.
for sure. Now, so had you guys been living together for a while?
yes.
Yeah, for a couple years. Yeah.
For a couple of years. Okay, so, but looking back, would you have preferred, you would not, it did not matter to you then? You wouldn't have preferred the limousine and the lake and the da-da-da-da?
I'm sure
Like
Jeff,
Seinfeld would
yeah,
say, da-da-da.
definitely something special, I'm sure, would have been appreciated. I'm okay with not the grand, without the grand gesture. I do think I like a little bit more personal anyway. Maybe not quite the language that I had in my proposal, but it's fine. It was fine. It worked out.
Well, hey, I mean,
She got her man.
she got
yeah.
her man.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, she got her man. So when did you guys actually start planning the wedding? Did you start planning the wedding that night? Like after, you finished watching your basketball team? Should we give a shout out to the team?
Syracuse University.
Okay, Syracuse University. We're giving you a
Go
shout out.
Orange.
Okay, Syracuse University. Did you start planning the wedding that night at least, or?
No, I don't think so. I was definitely not a bridezilla or anything like that.
So back then we had engagement parties.
Yes, we had an engagement party.
So we had to plan an engagement party. And so we had a few months later, we had an engagement party, and then I think we got married about a year later.
Well, I mean, I say the more parties the better, though, don't you? I
Right,
mean,
right.
you hope you only get married once.
Sure.
So you do the engagement party, and then how long did it take to walk down the aisle and get married?
Well, we got married. What
A
year
year
did we
later,
get married?
right?
About a year later.
Yeah, a year later.
Planning was not as difficult back then, I don't think, because now weddings are events and themed, and we didn't do that, 33 years ago. It was kind of a standard. You went to certain places, and we lived in a smaller community, so there was only a few different options. So it wasn't very difficult to plan.
There are so many, I do feel too, there are so many more pressures.
Yes.
We're going to take a break right now because we have to come back and go to what you said, Bernadette, at the beginning. At 10 years, you found out, right, Chris, that you were truly,
we'll tell that story.
Yeah,
that
truly
was
the
pretty,
one.
That
Oh,
was
please.
pretty impactful.
Yes,
Yeah,
for
we'll
sure.
touch on that,
That's
yeah.
a great tease. All right, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
By highlighting each month's birthstone and educating on the unique qualities, we hope you'll share our passion of gemstones.
August birthstone is peridot. Its naturally colored olive to lime green is also the 16th anniversary stone. And the greener the peridot, the higher its value.
Ancient Egyptians called it the Gem of Suns and was worn by Cleopatra. To learn more about colored gemstones, follow us on social media.
Or come see them only at the Golden Diamond Source.
Thinking about getting engaged, planning to upgrade your wedding ring, or finally getting that Rolex?
The Golden Diamond Source can help you in many ways.
You can start a layaway plan for only 10% down and 6 monthly payments.
Take advantage of our 3 to 5 year interest-free financing.
Or you can trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase.
Come to the Golden Diamond Source and find that perfect gift for the ones that you love.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Love in America. I'm here with Bernadette and Chris Pello, who, boy, Bernadette, you dropped a bomb. You dropped a bomb at the first half of the show. Sure. Or was it Chris that dropped the bomb that said, yeah, she didn't realize that I was the one until 10 years into the marriage. Keep in mind, guys, these two have been together for 44 years, right? Married 33.
42.
42. Yep. All these numbers.
It's okay.
But so yes, share this story.
So just prior to our 10th anniversary, we were in church and we got saved and really developed a relationship, with God. And it occurred to me that, when we got married, I felt it was more the party. We wanted to have family, friends, and that's what it was about. But then at our 10-year mark, I felt like this is more personal. This is with God, and if we're going to make it, we have to do it right. And that's when I felt like this is forever.
So when we renewed our vows at 10 years, now our faith was real and personal, and so now God is the foundation of our marriage.
And how did you, what brought you to that point of
so I think
10 years?
I think as we mature and we get older, obviously things become more important. Family becomes more important. Security becomes more important. And I think faith becomes more important. And I think when you're in your 20s, you're trying to identify who you are as a person. And then as you get into your 30s, I think you start to gather some identity. You start a family, and now you want to build on those family values. And I think faith always is a big part of those family values. And so we were having a Bible study at our house, and there was 5 other couples, and the name of the Bible study was Finding the Two. And so the premise is that Jesus should be your one. He's your first relationship that you have to have. Now it's finding the two.
Right.
And so we said, well, when did you know Todd was the one? And that's Sylvia would say, oh, when he did this, I knew he was the one. Right. Or I knew he was the two. We went to the next couple. When did you know that he was the two? He was the one for you forever.
But they were all answering before they got married. Before they got married.
Right.
When they got to us, they said, well, Bernadette, when did you know Chris was the one? And she said, when we renewed our vows on our 10th anniversary.
And they thought I was kidding. Yeah.
Wow.
And they said, really? And she says, yeah, when we got married, I didn't think it was forever.
And why do you think you didn't think it was forever? Is it because of what your mom went through?
Yeah, so my mom, my parents were divorced when I was 7. My grandparents stayed married forever, but there was just a lot of relationships that I saw that either didn't make it or, maybe shouldn't have. And so I just really did not think that it was in the cards for me.
Isn't that something? So Chris, when you heard her say that, that did take you by surprise.
Well, we all laughed at first and thought she was kidding. And she says, no, I'm not kidding. And she just explained that when we got married, it was time to get married. We'd been together for so long. And, she just didn't have that till death do us part nailed down.
Right.
But with God at the foundation of our relationship now, with Him, all things are possible.
Right.
I so appreciate you sharing that
absolutely.
Personal story. And because so many times, when you do enter into a marriage, of course, you do think it's forever. So for you to actually say you weren't sure, but take a look at you guys. I mean, you've made it longer than
a lot of people, for
than
sure.
most couples. Yeah. So is that why it's so important? So you not only renewed your vows at the 10-year mark, you have renewed your vows
a couple times. Yeah, 20, 25, and 30.
Why is that so important to you?
So to me, I think, getting married is fairly simple. It takes money and some planning, but anybody can get married. And I think that we should plan those big celebrations at our anniversaries because it takes work to stay married. And so I think that every opportunity that we can to just, recommit and share that. And I think that sharing it too has made an impact, you know, like on our son, you know, so for him to witness, because he was there for our first time when we renewed our 10th, you know, all the way to the 30th. And I just think it helps to show him that it is possible, you know, and that good marriages are out there.
And, you know, and I wanted to mention that the two of you do have a son. He's 27, right? And Chris, okay, so going back, though, to renewing the vows, do you feel when couples do that, and we heard it from Bernadette, that does bring you closer? It reminds you? Or how do you feel about that from a male's perspective?
Well, I'm a little bit more kind of like black and white. You know, our kid says, well, you know, I told you I loved you. If it changes, I'll let you know. You know, type of deal. But I think, you know, it's tough to make commitments, and I think that it's important to make those commitments. I think it's important to make family a priority. And you know, we have a few different philosophies that we try and live by. It's not who's right, it's what's right. And so we try to remember, look, you know, it's what's right is that we do this. You know, let's, in every situation, in business and relationships, you just kind of do what's right. And so that has always been our philosophy, and you know, we're each other's biggest fans. And
That's our biggest thing.
Yep, and we just want to be there for each other and encourage each other. And you know, I think we make a really good team, and it's translated not only from our relationship, but even to doing business together now. So, you know, we don't get a break. We're married, we work together. The conversations are about work, and so it's important that, you know, we have our own individual outlets. I do a lot of golfing, go on golf trips with the guys, and I went out to Pebble Beach and golfed, and she was very supportive of that. And then she does the stuff with her ladies. So it's important to have your own identity and your own interests, but then you come back to the core family values of what's important.
I'm so thankful, too, that you shared that, because I would encourage the viewers, too, to watch the On the Record episode that you did, or if they watch On the Record first, to watch Love in America, to see that you are a couple that not only, you know, lives together, loves each other, but also works together and very passionate at what you do. So you both mentioned just now that being each other's #1 fan is the most important.
Yes.
Why do you feel that?
Well, I think everybody needs encouragement. And, you know, when I do something, you know, like sometimes, like other people's opinions don't necessarily mean everything to me, but I want him to be proud. You know, I want him to acknowledge that. And it's the same thing, you know, from, I think, on both sides. You know, so our job is to be each other's #1 fan. We want to encourage each other and celebrate. You know, and sometimes that comes with some coaching too. Yeah. But.
And when you realize, you know, we've grown a lot in our faith, and when you realize that love is a choice, it's not a feeling or an emotion.
Gosh, will you expand on that when you talk about love being a choice?
Yeah, love is a choice. So, you know, there are days we don't feel loved. There are days we don't feel like going to work. There are days we don't feel appreciated or supported. And there are days we don't feel loved. Love is not feelings and emotions. When you truly understand that love is a choice, that you choose to put someone else's needs before your own, that's what love is. It's an action, it's a verb, it's a choice. And so, and we can choose to love our neighbors. We're not attracted to them, and there's no emotional connection, but it's a choice to put their needs before your own. It's a choice you make. And I think that choice has to be made every day in a marriage. You have to choose your spouse every day.
You know, I want to ask you guys a question that I've never asked a couple that has been married for so many years. You know, again, the show is unedited, unscripted. We just throw it out there and ask. Do you feel it, because you guys met at such a young age too, has there ever been those thoughts of, gosh, I mean, the world's a really big place. There could be someone else out there?
There's that fear of missing out type deal.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I've not had that. I'm 58 years old, and I don't drink, I don't smoke, I never have. And so I know what I want and what I want to do, and I choose to do those things. And so that's kind of been my personality all my life. I don't want to disappoint people. I don't want to let people down. And so I try and do what's right. You know, my mom always said, you know, it's about doing what's right, Chris. we had the same upbringings. My brothers might have chose other things, but I try to always choose to do what's right. And I think when you take those choices into, I don't want anything different. You know, I have what I want, and I have the family that I want, and I choose to keep it. And I choose to pour into that. And so that's a choice we have to make every day. There's people that choose to walk away.
What a blessing, though, to have found your person at such a young age. Bernadette, how would you? I know, I just asked it. So, how would you answer that question?
I think pretty close. I mean, I'm somebody that, you know, I don't want regrets, so I try to do everything to not have those. And if I made different choices, then I wouldn't be where I am now. And, you know, we knew at an early age that we were going to be together, you know, but we've read some studies about, you know, how marriages last, and, you know, there's really not a study that shows if you're younger, you're older, whatever. But there is something from a gentleman that we really respected, a marriage program we did, and it was about how many partners you've had, you know, you're dating. Because sometimes dating teaches you, it's like divorce practice. If it's not working out, we go on to the next one. So this one, we go on to the next one. But instead, we choose to, you know, work through everything. And we're not alike, you know, we have some differences and some different ideas, but at the end, it's about what's right.
Well, you guys are both such a lovely couple, and I appreciate you so much answering all those questions, and certainly that one too. You know, well, believe me, another 40 years for you guys, and we're looking forward to maybe getting news from your son soon.
I hope so. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Gosh. Thank you so much for sharing your love story. And remember, if you want to be on Love in America or any of our shows, please send the team an email at production@redhousestreaming.com. We love sharing your stories, and then please share the stories on all our social media platforms, and we're also now on Roku. Once again, the Pellos.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
You.
And thanks so much for watching, everybody.
The Golden Diamond Source has been in business for nearly 4 decades and is one of the largest family-owned jewelry stores in America.
We have the largest selection of white and fancy colored diamonds and gemstones you'll find anywhere.
We also have private areas for VIP viewings.
Only at the Golden Diamond Source.